God really doesn't need our help in evangelism or, at all. I mean, he just enjoys partnering with us in his great redemption story. It's like an ant, riding on the back of an elephant across a bridge and then at the end of the other side saying, "Wow, we really shook that up, didn't we?" That's kind of like man helping out God. Or maybe like a kid who wants to help his dad help build something in the shop or work on the car. It's not really helping that much, but dad is just glad to have the kid along. That he's not helping in a great measure. And that's the way I felt when we had met this guy named James, and he was traveling through town. He was looking for work, and we spent some time and we spoke with him about Jesus and how Jesus had touched our lives. And I remember he said, "So, like, Jesus zapped you?" We're like, "Sure, yeah, he zapped me, he zapped us." And he just responded with a But later that night at about 11:30 p.m., we get a knock at the door. We're like, "Oh wow, who's that?" And I open the door and it's James. And he said, again, this is back in Clinton, where I was living with my brother Rod and my other brother in the Lord, Rick. We were serving in Clinton, and it's late at night. James is telling us his story. He said that he was at a party, and it was at his place, and he's living in a place with three other guys or something like that, and people were just drunk, passed out on the couch, passed out on the floor, laying around. And he turned around and he kind of just looked at the whole scene, and he just felt this, "I need you, Jesus," in his heart. And so what he did, he just knelt down right there in the midst of all the people laying around. He said, "Jesus zapped me. Jesus zapped me." And so he then asked if, we talked about it for a little while. We showed some scriptures, and then he said, "Can we just go down to the park or something and worship or, praise God under the stars?" And so we decided to go down there because it was a beautiful day. And tonight, that night, the stars were out. It was like brilliant, beautiful night. And we went down the road and to the park, and we just began to praise God together. We stood in a circle and just kind of thank God for the stars and started praising him. And then something happened. God saw us four guys down there worshiping him in a park in Clinton. And around midnight, out of a brightly lit starry night, it started to rain. But it was not an ordinary rain. That's all I can say. It wasn't ordinary because you could literally, it was right above us. You could feel the rain and the misty feeling, but you could walk out from underneath it and then walk back into it. And it was literally just raining on us. It was amazing. It was fascinating. God, in a sense, zapped all of us that night. I mean, we were jumping picnic tables, praising God while doing it. Pretty cool. But the lesson I learned was that God doesn't really need me to get to somebody. He can find the one in the middle of a drunken party in a small town in the interior of BC. I mean, one who's longing for something more. He sees it all. He can give that person what they truly, truly need. The fact that he does use us, well, that's awesome. That's amazing. He chooses in his wisdom clods like us. That sounds like a book title. Clods like us. Pieces of dirt. To reach other pieces of dirt with what they truly need. He wants to partner. He wants to partner with us and make his appeal through us to our family, to our friends, to our neighbors, to our coworkers, to our schoolmates, whomever our life touches, he wants to use us to reach. As Paul said in letter to the Colossians in 1 verse 9, he says, "For this I toil, struggling with all his energy that so powerfully works within me." Or to the Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 5:20, he wrote, "Therefore we are ambassadors for Christ, God making his appeal through us. And so we implore you on behalf of Christ to be reconciled to God." Isn't it amazing that God chooses people like you and me to partner with in this great story of redemption? What a cool thing. Think about it. The God of the universe wants to use you.